Hello, my name is Alexa Newman, and I am a librarian at the Algonquin Public Library. I'm also a yoga instructor. Welcome to Yin Yoga. I'd like to invite you to sit crisscross applesauce and to find some props here that we will be using in today's practice. First of all would be a pillow or a bolster of some sort. This is my yoga bolster right here, and it is fairly firm. If you don't have a bolster, like I said, a firm pillow or a furniture cushion works really well. I'm also sitting on a smaller meditation pillow right here. Other props that we would find useful, you could use a folded towel or a blanket. If you have yoga blocks, those would be great. You could also use books or something else that is firm and can support your weight. A yoga strap, which is one of my favorite props. I use this frequently. This is probably one of my very favorite props because of how versatile they are. You can use a yoga strap in a lot of different applications. They're very inexpensive, they're small, they're easy to store. We'll be using these. If you don't have a strap, if you have a webbed dog leash, those work, or a wide webbed belt, those are also useful, but we want to make sure that they are 1.5 to 2 inches wide, because anything smaller could actually potentially cut or bind and create injury. Lastly, we don't need this today. Okay, not the tennis ball. Tennis balls are also a very useful prop, but we'll be using those in another class. Okay, so I would like to ask you at this time to sit crisscross applesauce on the floor and try and relax. We'll put our hands in on our knees. You can have either hand face down or facing up into a receiving position. I'd like to ask you to relax your shoulders, close your eyes. We're going to begin to breathe deeply in and out through our nose. We're going to use this time to set an intention or an invocation. And what this is to find either a small phrase that is meaningful and short enough to be repeated, or it might be a thought or a wish that you have either for somebody in your life or just in general. My favorite intention or mantra that I use is I am love, I am light, I am joy. Don't let the word mantra get you caught up in anything. It's basically just another word for intention. It's vocabulary. You could also say it's a small prayer, but basically it is a thought and idea that we are wanting to focus on to bring ourselves into this particular moment, to become aware of just being, letting go of all the outside stressors and aggravations, thoughts, everything that's going on later, before, we are here in the now. And that is the key to having a mindfulness practice. I think it's very important in this current situation that we are all dealing with. Many of us, our work, home life has become incredibly blurred. There's a lot of uncertainty. There is a lot of stress going on for all of us. And so finding time to be right here in the now, in the moment, finding that peace, finding relaxation, re-energizing is very, very important. And hopefully having this yoga practice today will help you in this journey. So, continue to keep your eyes closed. Bring your breath in and out through your belly. I want you to feel it coming down through your diaphragm. And I want you to relax and release. Let go of these muscles down in our glutes. Relax your shoulders. Relax your back. Just be. Relax your tongue. Take it off the roof of your mouth. Relax your jaw. Feel your muscles release and relax. On our next breath, open up your eyes. And we're going to get ready for our first pose of the class. I'm actually going to remove my little meditation pillow there. And I'm going to sit down on the floor. Our first pose is called butterfly. Yin. Many of the poses are the same as in a vinyasa and hatha class, but they're named after animals because there are sometimes some slight subtle differences. What we're going to do for this pose, feet bottoms are together. On the floor, we allow our knees to drop out to the sides. If you need to use blocks, you can put blocks or pillows underneath your knees because we don't want any stress. We don't want to strain. I want you to relax. One of the primary ideas in Yin is relaxing and letting go and releasing our muscles. We are trying to work on our flexibility, increasing our range of motion, stretching out our ligaments, our tendons, stretching out that connective tissue, the fascia, and like I said, just working on becoming more flexible and releasing. There is no flexion, there's no really tensing in a Yin practice. It's all about relaxing, being in the moment. So, if you use the blocks, you can. If not, and then to go a little bit more fully into the pose, if it's available to you, you can grab your toes, your feet or your ankles, and then allow yourself to come forward. And as you're here, breathe, relax, let go of those muscles. You may be feeling this in your thighs, both on the insides and the outsides. You may be feeling it in your lower back. You may be feeling it up in your neck. Just continue to relax and release. You may feel yourself sinking further into the pose. Typically in Yin, the longer we hold a pose, our body will release and open up the joints further. Our body is full of connective tissues, and that is one of the focuses of Yin, is to work on this connective tissue with slow, easy stretches. So there's like I said, very little flexing or tensing of our muscles. Instead, we're relaxing, letting gravity do the work for us in a very gentle way. Okay. At this point, we're going to bring our knees up. Lean back. And we're going to windshield wiper back and forth our knees in a tic-tac fashion. Strap those feet out in front of us. And we're now going to transition into a half butterfly. So leave the left leg extended. We're going to pull the right leg forward. We're going to drop it down. Bring your foot up against the inside leg and allow that knee to come forward. You may wish to grab your strap at this time and wrap it around the ball mount of your foot. That's the fleshy part right under the toes. We don't want it in the arch, that could create an injury. I want you to lean forward as far as you can. Grab the edges of the strap. And then relax your muscles and allow your face to fall forward. If this is not comfortable or you don't have a strap, you can grab onto your ankle, you can grab onto the bottom of your foot if you're flexible, or you can just grab your bolster, your pillow, and put it across your lap and allow yourself to fold forward over the pillow. Whichever version of this you choose, it's totally fine. That's what's available to you today, but I want you to relax into the pose. Relax once again those muscles in your hips and your tushies, your lower back, your shoulders. Make sure you continue to breathe. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. And you'll find, as we hold this pose, you may release further into the stretch. And that's just your body opening up. The ligaments stretching, the tendons opening. That connective tissue, the fascia, opening up, breaking apart. Fascia is the white membranous stuff in between our muscles. It's like what keeps the muscles together in little groups. When you think about it, if you are preparing chicken or beef, different meats, you see that white membrane. That is fascia. And so much of it is a good thing, but sometimes our bodies go a little bit haywire and create too much. And that can be an issue because it builds up like a net and a web, and it will do this to protect us. If we have an injury, but too much of it will actually bind up and create restrictions, and it will limit our range of motion and our mobility, and you will actually find like knots and stuff where there is scar tissue. Scar tissue typically is connective tissue, and a stretching practice such as we're doing here is a gentler way to help break through that, as opposed to ripping through it, which can happen in a much more vigorous workout. This is more of a slow process. Okay, I would like you to come up to a seated position. Let's stretch out that right leg. Shake those legs out. Reposition your tushy again. And now we're going to bring the left leg in and leave the right leg out. If you used a strap on the left side, I'd like you to use a strap on the right. Same thing if you used a block or a bolster. I want you to try and have the symmetry on either side. And we're going to now come forward and fold forward, and we're going to hold the pose on this side. We typically hold poses in a yin practice between 3 and 5 minutes. This allows the muscles to relax and stretch a little bit further. I want you to focus on releasing in your breathing. If you find your thoughts wandering, which is very typical, I want you to acknowledge the thought and then let it go, and bring your thoughts back consciously to your intention. And that's a good way to anchor us into the present moment. Continue to breathe deeply but gently through your nose. Inhale and exhale down through your diaphragm. As you relax, your heartbeat is going to slow down, and you may find your thoughts slowing. And just everything feeling quieter and more mellow. If you do not currently have a yoga or a mindfulness practice, I think this is a perfect time to establish one. We have a tendency as a human to have what they call monkey brain. I call it my gerbil wheel, where thoughts constantly running through my head. Worst case scenario, and the gerbil runs and runs and runs, and so I have trouble sleeping at night. I find myself tensing up, and even with having a pretty good mindfulness practice, meditation practice, the past month I've been finding myself waking up with my fist clenched. I'm sleeping with my muscles tensed, and I'm not getting a really restful sleep. So having a practice like this definitely helps to find methods for focusing and releasing that monkey mind. And so I'm going to be giving you some tips and hints throughout our practice here, as well as our stretching, of ways to let go of some of that worry and stress that is definitely affecting all of us right now. If you don't have a practice, like I said, now's the time to try and figure one out. It does not have to be an hour-long formal practice. It may be more of a devotional time. Maybe you go out and sit on your patio in the morning or your deck, and you have your cup of coffee or tea and you listen to the birds. Maybe you have a quiet time where you read devotionals in the evening. The point is that you have some structured time where you can focus on the moment and not worry about any other concerns that are going on. Shopping, cleaning, the kids, the world, what's going on with the news, what's going on with work. Okay, we've been in that position for 4 minutes, so I want you to rise up. Extend that left leg back out. Okay, we're going to shake out those legs a little bit, reposition. And now we are going to lean forward into a pose called caterpillar. Yin Yoga is similar A lot of the poses are going to be the same poses or similar poses to what you may be familiar with if you have a current yoga practice. There are some subtle differences. This caterpillar is very similar to what we call staff in a vinyasa class, except there are no really straight lines, we're more curved lines. So this is another time I'd like you to either grab your strap or your bolster or just use your hands, and we're going to put that strap, if we have it, around the ball mounts of our feet. If not, you can reach towards your toes or grab your ankles, and we're going to fold forward, but we don't have to worry about having a straight line. In a typical staff, you would keep your back straight and fold forward before you allow yourself to bend. Yin, it's all about the gentle curves and the relaxing. The only thing I really caution you is to make sure you have a micro bend in your knees. That means don't lock your knees. Locking your knees can create injuries. We're hyperextending those joints. I'd rather you have bent than nothing. And then allow yourself to fall forward and have a nice curve in your back. If you are really flexible, really fun way to do this is to actually wrap your fingers in through your toes, and then you can give yourself a nice little massage there and relax. Once you're here, like I said, allow that head to drop forward, release your glutes, release your lower back, relax those arms. Remember to breathe. Take that tongue off the roof of your mouth. Maybe open up your jaw just a little bit. And relax while we're here. And I was starting to say about finding a time to put a chunk of time just for yourself to be in the moment. How important that is. It's also important to have a space that's kind of dedicated. Even if that is you're locking yourself in the bathroom to get away from the family for a short period of time, do that, but try and stage it so that it's a little bit calmer. You might dim the lights a little bit, maybe light a candle, have some soft, quiet music, instrumental music in the background. Is to try and make it a moment where it's a little bit set aside from the everyday, moment to moment. And like I said, then find your intention, to find your focus. And this is something that we have to practice every day. It's not easy. Meditation is not easy. You're going to find your thoughts wandering everywhere. And so that's why having an intention, a focus, to bring it back. And that may be all that you do. First, however many times that you're doing this. And there will be days where it is a struggle, even if you've been meditating for years. We will have outside intrusions that come into our lives. But finding a time to just focus on your breathing and being in the moment is just so vital to your overall health. Studies have proven again and again that having a meditation mindfulness practice reduces our risks for so many issues, specifically heart health, anxiety, stress. I encourage you to find this time. Okay, let's sit up. Now we are going to transition into child's pose. Child's pose is one of the basic um, poses in yoga that you could always come back to relax, reboot, restart. There are many variations, but typically in child's pose, what we're going to do is you start on your knees. I'm going to move my bolster here. And we come back towards our heels, so we're sitting on our heels. And in this variation, I want your hands to be reached out in front of you. You can put your forehead down towards the floor. Now, if this is not comfortable for you or available to you, some different variations include bringing the bolster. So you lay on the pillow or the bolster and wrap yourself around it. And once you're here, relax. As you inhale and exhale, you'll find, hopefully, the bottom sinking closer to your knees, your tummy coming closer to the floor. If you have knee issues, fold up a blanket or a towel, and you can kneel on that and come down. If this still is too painful, if you have knee issues that are too painful, you can actually do an inverse of this pose, and it has the exact same benefits, but we're doing it from our back. And in this, you would just lay on your back, pull your knees up towards you, and pull them like that. And you're going to get the same benefits that you would kneeling, but this is easier for your knees for those of you that have knee issues. Okay, so while we're in child's pose, if you are able to, get your forehead to the floor. I want you to roll your head back and forth just a little bit, massage that forehead. There's a nerve bundle right there at what they call our third eye, which is directly above your nose, in between the two eyes. And doing that just kind of helps release and massage. And it's very relaxing. Okay. I'm going to stay here for just a few more seconds. And then we're going to come back up to our hands and knees into a tabletop. I want you to do a nice little arch of your back, going into what they call cat. Get a large cat, and then drop your back down. Lift up your head into cow. And let's cycle through this for a couple of cycles. Just stretch out that spine. Okay, we're now going to transition into a pose called Sphinx. We do this by coming down onto our bellies. And we're going to take our elbows directly under our shoulders. So you can see my elbow and my shoulder are stacked on top of each other, and they're in close. If you're further out, your body isn't going to be working for you. You're going to be using your muscle. If you're stacked directly using your elbows, your skeleton is going to be supporting you. And it'll be much easier for you to completely relax all of your muscles. Okay, now once you're here, and put your hands wide open in a jazz hand. Okay. And then look down towards the floor with the crown of your head facing the wall in front of you. Once you're here, I want you to relax. Release, once again, all the muscles in your back. Release from your toes, your calves, your thighs, your hips. Release the glutes, all the muscles around the pelvic girdle. Feel your belly button pushing towards the floor. Relax the muscles in your back. Feel them along your spine, opening up and loosening. Relax the shoulders. Relax your neck. And just breathe in and out through your diaphragm. Deeply, using your nose. Nice cleansing breaths. I want you to visualize your breath. Each breath coming in is glittery sparkles of light and joy and health. And as you breathe, the breath carries them through your system, all the way through the arteries, down through the capillaries, all the way to the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes. When you exhale, those sparkles have been released, and then your body is going to collect all of the negative energy, all of your illness, your stress, your anxiety, and it's going to get expelled. And visualize that coming out as smudges of dust or dirt, and it's going to get collected, and all that gunk is going to get expelled with each breath. New breath coming in brings in vitality, rejuvenation, joy. Exhales, let go of all of our negative energies. Okay. We're going to transition now. If this is available to you, we're going to leave your hands exactly where we are. We're going to push up on our hands, up on our shoulders, and we're going to extend this stretch. You're going to look forward, face forward at the wall in front of you. Continue to keep your muscles relaxed. Let go of those glutes. Relax that belly. Now, if this is too difficult for you, come back down into Sphinx. Pushing up further is called Seal. And this is just deepening that back bend and opening up the stretch a little bit more. Part of the reason we are doing these back bends, we do twists and opening, is because we have a pretty sedentary lifestyle. We don't do nearly enough bending and twisting anymore in our day-to-day lives. And to do this actually helps stimulate our circulatory and our lymphatic systems. It massages our organs, and it helps build our core. And having a strong, healthy core is vital to our overall health, especially as we age. Having a strong core protects us. It protects us from injury. It helps us with our balance. It helps prevent back pain and injuries. We're going to come back down into our elbows. If you were up in Seal, we're going to come back into Sphinx here. And even in Sphinx, this is a very nice back bend. And having a back bend is good because we spend a lot of our days crouched forward. When we're sitting at a desk, at our computers, we're hunched forward. With game systems, same thing. We're typically crouched forward. So this is a nice bending going in the opposite direction to try and bring some symmetry. Release that tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes. Our next pose is probably the most difficult pose of the class. And it is called Melting Heart. Sometimes it's called Puppy Dog. What I want you to do is we're going to push into tabletop. We'll do some nice cat cows here again. Arch that back up a little bit, come back down. Okay. The first thing I want us to do is to make sure that we are centered correctly. So stand up on your knees. Okay. Want your knees to be hip shoulder width apart. And then we're going to come down. It's tabletop. But then walk those hands out further in front of you. And we're going to drop and arch the back again towards the floor. And if you can, I'm going to try and keep the knees straight. Bring that forehead down to the floor. Now, if this is not available to you, because this is a difficult pose, you could bring that bolster out in front of you and allow yourself to lean against your pillow or your bolster. This is different than child's pose. We're not going back. The knee should be stacked directly below the hip. So that part is straight up and down. And we're dropping our head or our chest down towards the floor. And once again, we should be relaxed in this pose. Should not be tensing. We're going to hold that for just one more minute. Continue to breathe. Okay, let's come back up to tabletop. And then sit down, and we're going to turn over onto our backs. And we are going to do a fun pose called Banana Asana. And basically it's making yourself into a crescent or a banana while you're laying down. So what I want you to do is lay down here. Stretch your legs out so your toes are going towards one wall and your arms are stretched out towards the other. And then you're going to take your left foot towards the left corner of the mat. Have the right foot follow. And then you're going to take your left arm and bring it up towards the top left corner, and then same thing. And if that's all the further you can go, that's fabulous. If you want to stretch into this a little bit more, you can cross that right ankle over your left ankle, and then you can take your right arm, grab your right wrist with your left arm, and we're going to pull it a little bit further. Now while you're doing this, I don't want you lifting your right hip off the floor. If your hip or your shoulders are lifting off the floor, you've gone too far into the stretch, and that's not the point of it. Release the ankle, cross, and the wrist, and come back down. This is a gentle curve. Once you're here, relax, release, let go. If you find your thoughts wandering, Acknowledge it and bring yourself back to your intention. This is a really nice full body stretch, and you'll be getting the stretch all the way from your toes, all the way up through your shoulders and your arms. Are you continuing to breathe? Breathing is often considered one of the most important parts of a yoga practice. Your practice is successful if you've managed to control your breath. This means we remember to breathe in and out. Don't hold your breath. Continue to breathe deeply and steadily. Are you relaxing? Are you feeling that small of the back melting towards the floor? Are you sinking towards the basement? Your muscles becoming like jello, fluid and soft, as opposed to hard, intense, and flexed. Okay, let's uncross the ankle if they were crossed. Release your wrist. Okay, we're going to stretch your arms towards the one wall, your feet towards the other, and reach, and then relax. Now we're going to stretch to the other side. So take that right foot towards the right corner of the mat. Bring the left foot alongside. We're going to do this with our arms, same thing. Right arm towards that right corner of the mat. Left arm to follow. And you should be another little banana going the other direction now. If you want to extend, cross that left ankle over the right. Grab that left wrist with your right hand. But I don't want to see you leaning like this. That left hip should stay on the floor. The left shoulder should be on the floor. If you're lifting off, you've gone too far into the stretch, and that's not the intention of this particular position or pose. Imagine those sparkles of energy and positivity, health, vitality, coming in with each inhale, spreading through every cell of your body, bringing you peace. As you exhale, you're taking out everything that is tired, used up, negative, and we're releasing it, letting it go so we can fill ourselves back up. Sometimes you'll hear yogis talking about breath and the practice of breathing in yoga and refer to it as pranayama. And while that's one aspect of pranayama, prana actually translates more closely to spirit. And so our breathing involves not just the physical act of breathing, but it has a spiritual aspect as well. And I was starting to talk about the importance of breathing in yoga. Many yogi masters will actually say that if you can master your breathing, that is the primary goal of a yoga practice. And that ties into our mindfulness and our meditation. To have the steady breathing in and out. Okay, let's release this left ankle, uncross it from the right. Let go of the wrist. Bring the feet back to center, the hands back to center, and stretch one more time. We're now going to do a twist. I want you to bring your arms out to a T on either side. I want you to bring your feet bottoms up so your knees are bent. And you're going to actually do a reclining twist. I want you to do this by crossing your right foot over your left knee. So have those arms out. And then we're going to allow that left leg to drop, bring that right foot down towards the floor. Now you may want to lift up your left shoulder a little bit, so you reposition so both the right and left shoulders are on the floor. And then you can let your head, your chin, your ear drop down towards the right. We'll just stay like this. Once again, I want you to relax your muscles, release the hips and the glutes. Hopefully you're feeling looser and more open than you did at the beginning of the practice. Relax those shoulders. Unfurrow your brow. Relax your jaw. Feel your breath. Slow, steady, coming from deep down in your belly. Try and focus your thoughts on your intention. What can you do to manifest it in this moment? On your next breath, turn your head back up so you're facing the ceiling. bottom a little bit and reposition. And now we're going to cross the left foot over the right knee. Have those arms out in the T. And when you're ready, we're going to let the right knee drop. Bring the left foot down towards the floor. You need to lift that right shoulder a little bit. Do that so that your left and right shoulders are both centered on the floor. And then let your left ear drop towards the floor, looking over your left shoulder. Consciously release and relax. You should be feeling this twist all the way from those left toes up through your body and across. All the way up through your head. You've taken the time today to carve out a moment for your self-healing, your self-care. Even if you cannot fit an hour practice on a daily basis, try to find 5 to 10 minutes where you can focus inward on your breathing, on being in the moment. Finding that time to slow down and be in the moment will help rejuvenate you, center you, so you can go through the rest of your day with an island of peace and calm. Bring your face back up to look at the ceiling. Bring those knees back up and cross your left foot from your right. Our last pose before today's Shavasana is Happy Baby. Let's bring those knees in. Take your two pointer and big finger and grab your big toe. Or you could grab the outsides of your feet, whichever is more comfortable for you. And then we're going to bring our knees towards our armpits. You may want to rock side to side gently, massaging that spine just a little bit before coming to stillness. If you feel the need to extend and stretch those legs out, you could do that at this time as well. Or bring them back. When we're in Happy Baby, I want you to keep the small of your back towards the floor. Do not lift your bottom up off the floor. It's safer to have your tailbone on the floor. Less chance for injury. we're going to get ready for Shavasana. Shavasana is our final relaxation. So at this time, and it's a cool down as well, you may wish to put on a sweater or your socks. You may want to get a bolster and put it under your legs. You may want a towel to cover your eyes. But I want you to get comfortable. And then lay on your back. And we're going to have our final meditation. And I have a reading for you today. It's a loving kindness meditation that was written by Sarah Powers, who is considered one of the founders of the Yin movement. And this is on loving kindness. Set your motivation to practice this now for your own and for others' benefits, as the value of aligning your heart and mind with loving kindness will spread naturally to others. So begin now by relaxing into your body with your eyes closed. Relax deeply into each out breath and let go of all of your concerns. Allow your mind to become fresh in this moment. Hear your out breath like a gentle flowing river. Now, in the space of your heart, ask yourself, what are my heartfelt aspirations for this life? What would make me truly happy? And how do I see this life unfolding in which I am truly thriving, both with worldly happiness and inner happiness? What would it be like to realize this? Reflect and see what comes to mind. Allow yourself to be indulgent, flamboyant, and to have an adventure, wishing this for yourself as your best friend. Allow yourself to be scandalously optimistic and become a dream weaver of your own life. Then consider that the deepest dimension of your being is the root of your yearning for happiness. And imagine this pure dimension symbolically is an orb of white light at your heart. It's cascading through your whole body and saturating your mind with each out breath. Stay here for a while with these images and begin to see them transpiring with each breath. As you say to yourself, may I be truly happy. Breath by breath, imagine the fulfillment of your own dreams and aspirations blossoming here and now. As we are inextricably dependent on many others to live our innermost dreams, what would you love to receive from others and from your environment to realize your heart's desire? With each breath, in the spirit of loving kindness, say to yourself, may I receive all I truly need, day to day, moment to moment. And imagine all that you would love to receive coming to you in the form of white light on each breath. It's filling your heart and your body. Imagine receiving all that you truly need. Imagine reality reaching up to meet you. We not only need blessings and assistance, but also inner transformation. Ask yourself, in the spirit of loving kindness, what qualities of mind and behaviors would I love to be free of? What mental habits impede my deeper aspirations and block me from realizing the true happiness I would love to discard? Imagine all these leaving you with each breath while saying to yourself, may it be so. What inner resources would you love to cultivate in order to bring about your deepest happiness? What qualities would you love to be invested with? With each breath, envision your own growth towards the realization of your dreams, saying to yourself again, may it be so. See yourself reshaping your inner world with these qualities, strengthened and accessible within you. With each breath, imagine this transformation taking place within you here and now. Finally, in the same spirit of loving kindness, in order to inject your life with as much meaning as possible, what kind of mark would you like to make on the world? What is the greatest good you can imagine bringing to the world so that it is a better place because you have been here? And at the end of your life, you look back with a deep sense of satisfaction, knowing that this was a life well lived. With each breath, imagine offering all the things that you would like to offer, drawing on your unique background, your talents, your interests, your training, and your vision. Imagine offering this here and now. Imagine those around you receiving your offerings with joy and delight. Now, release all appearances and let your awareness rest in utter simplicity and stillness, the place from which all these aspirations arise. Okay, let's begin to come back. We can wiggle our fingers and our toes. Start making circles with our wrists and our feet. And then roll over onto your side, hugging your knees in towards you. When you're ready, you can bring yourself up to a seated position. Let's bring our hands out to our sides. And we're going to take 3 rounds of breath. Inhaling as we bring our hands up. Exhale as we bring them down. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, bring them down. And the last one, I want you to stop at the top. I want you to grab the light and energy and the sparkles, and we're going to bring them down through our vision center into our hearts. The light in me sees the light in you. I honor you as you honor me. That is a translation of the phrase, the word Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. I want you all to have a lovely rest of your day. Remember to hydrate and drink. We did get a workout today. Even though we weren't moving fast, you were stretching muscles, you were massaging, getting into deep tissues. Hydrate, hydrate, take care of yourself, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you again soon.